Okay, this is Attorney Vince Davis. I'm here with Cynthia Becker, the host of the reality series CPS The Horror Stories. Cynthia, are you ready to take another call?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I got Ann from Texas. And did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
I have both, and thank you so much for taking my call. I wanted to tell you that I waited 2 hours last time, and I want to pay respect to your dear son, who the show was dedicated to last time. I wanted you to know that hit my heart, and I think it was his 22nd birthday, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to tell you, Cynthia, I've been watching your show on Facebook, and I've been just rearing to and ready to go to talk to you, Mr. Davis. Thank you for taking my call. I'm a grandmother, and my daughter, who's 32, she has some issues, and she needs to get some help for them. I'll get right to the point, and I'll tell you that her 3-week-old baby was taken from her, and I think they originally put it like a safety plan in place, and then she got together with the boyfriend, the daddy of the baby, and there was a situation with physical abuse between the two of them. So they took my grandbaby, and they didn't. The law states, I've been trying to be my own attorney and do everything I can. I read like crazy, and it said that they were supposed to have let me know, by mail, certified mail, give me a call, something, because CPS actually took custody of my daughter's baby, my grandbaby, and she's at 3 weeks old. She's a month and a half old right now, and they've been lying to me, surprise, surprise. And I really thought that I was doing the right thing by giving them information for my daughter's background so she could get the help they need, because they said, oh, we have all these types of programs we can put her in, and she'll get the right help and all this and that. And I said, I want to know why y'all didn't let me know that y'all were taking my granddaughter, custody of my granddaughter, because I'm right here with my other daughters. I have 3 children. They're all pretty well separated apart. My other 2 grown young adult children. Why didn't you let me know? Because the baby could have come here. She doesn't belong in foster care. She has a family. And they said, well, we asked your daughter for 3 references or 3 people that she could place them with, and she didn't name you. Well, you know why? It's because she's had nothing but problems with CPS since the conception of the children, it seems like. And 4 to 5 years ago, my older grandchildren were placed with me, and I'm ignorant to the law. I thought CPS was like the police. So a CPS lady came in my house, interviewed my 2 children who were younger at the time, now they're young adults, and me separately. And she said, okay, your grandchildren can stay here. Don't let your daughter have your grandchildren until she takes the drug test. And I was like, okay. But my grandson has a brain tumor, and I needed to take him to his oncologist and his endocrinologist and get his MRI at the hospital since we couldn't find my daughter. She was just out running around, and the father was too, and I don't want to speak ill of my daughter. We all have our issues and whatnot, and I hope to God that at 32 years old, she's going to get help, faster than later. And then, so my daughter called me, and she kept telling me, Mom, just keep the kids a little while longer, and if they call, just tell them this. And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just. You need to do what you need to do. Give them the drug test, straighten your act up, and get your kids. If I wanted her children, I could have already had them a long time ago. I've got a 13-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 3-year-old, and then this 3-week-old. Or now she's a month and a half. Pardon me. But I've raised my children, and I want to be the grandmother, and I want my daughter to be the mother that I know she can be. So I never sought to seek custody of them or anything. So when I called CPS, to try to make my grandson's appointment with his doctor, his oncologist, they said that the mother had to do it, or I had to have some sort of paper. So I called CPS, told them, and the lady was like, "Oh yeah, give us all the doctors' names and numbers." Okay, I trusted him. I called back to make an appointment, and the nurse, she goes, "Listen, I know that something's wrong. I don't want to lose my job, but I'm going to tell you that doesn't make any sense for them to tell us that we can't see your grandson when the mother's not around, and he needs to be seen by his cancer doctor." And I was like, "Oh my God, really? This is insanity." And then shortly thereafter, about 3 or 4 days after, the police came to my house with my daughter, and she demanded me give her children back. I called the CPS lady, and the police didn't even want to talk to the CPS lady because they said, "Do you have any paperwork or anything?" And I was like, "No, I didn't know. I'm naive, I guess. I'm sorry. I thought they were like the police, that y'all work together." And he goes, "They're just a joke, and they don't have anything to say." I said, "Well, would you please at least talk to her so my daughter will understand I'm not trying to kidnap her children or hurt her like that, but I thought I was doing what I was supposed to do." And he talked to the lady, and I don't know what they said, and then that conversation was done. So up to date, we're 4 or 5 years down the line, she's got this new little baby, and I told you about the altercation between her and the father. So CPS had that safety plan, and then when the police got called out again, they just took the baby, didn't notify me. They had contacted me in May to get the father of my older grandchildren's address, and I was happy to do so. When I asked them why, they wouldn't tell me. But if it's going to help my kids, why? I'm not, my kids. I'm a young grandma. If it's going to help my kids, I call them all kids. If it's going to help my grandkids, I'm gonna give them the information that they need. But they're not telling me why. But I figured, I don't know what's going on.
Well, Ann, hold on a second. What city are you in, Texas?
I'm in Austin. Well, the case is happening in Austin.
Okay, so you have custody of some grandkids, but not others?
No, I don't have custody of any of them because they gave the children back to my daughter.
Okay, stop.
But the baby is the one I'm concerned with because CPS actually has custody, and they put her in a foster home.
Okay, Ann, stop, Ann. What you have to do immediately is get an attorney that's experienced in CPS cases and, the CPS courts in your county, and you have to file some paperwork, with that attorney to go to court to get custody of that grandchild or all of the grandchildren. If you don't, if Texas law is anything like California law, and I suspect that it is, your daughter can lose her parental rights, thereby cutting you off as the grandmother, and you may never see those grandchildren again. So get an attorney in your local area so that you can go forward and get these children into custody. Okay, Ann?
I will. And Mr. Davis, I just wanted to ask you a question. And I didn't mean to get off into it, but I had to tell you the backstory so you could kind of understand the front story. So she doesn't trust me. So then when they asked her for where the baby can go, because she thinks that I'm going to keep him like I did the other time, because CPS told me to until she drug submitted. And so then she called me and she was crying, Mommy, I need you to get my baby. They actually took custody of my baby. And so I called CPS, and it was a hard job because they were giving me the runaround, and they still are, and they're lying to me. We're doing emails back and forth, and at first I wasn't supposed to be a part of the guardian ad litem's information because that's the baby's attorney. And now all of a sudden they're emailing me and telling me to carbon copy her in our emails, and I'm like, isn't that a conflict of interest? And not only that, but they're telling my daughter untruths. I've told them so she can get the help because they said we can get her a psychologist, we can get her into all these classes and stuff that will help her. And then she's calling me and she's going, Mom, why did you tell him that? I hate you. What did you, like, they're ripping a family apart. So long story short, she doesn't want the baby with me because she thinks that I'm telling CPS lies.
Right.
And I called CPS, and CPS said, we did not tell your daughter that, the caseworker. She said, your daughter just doesn't listen. I'm like, but why are you even talking to my daughter about intimate things? I'm telling you so she can get the help that she needs at 32 years old. I mean, I was 23. I owned my second home by then. She needs help, and I'm telling you because I thought that y'all were going to help her, and instead y'all are just making everything much worse. So now they said, okay, we'll do a home study test on you. I passed the background check and everything, of course, and they're going to do the home study check where they come out, the third party, and looks at the house and interviews my older children, my older adult children that live with me still because they're finishing school, and one's in college. And then I just feel like they're just doing it to appease me because they didn't send me the letter.
Right. And,
Yeah.
and I told you already, get an attorney. Bottom line,
Okay,
get an attorney.
I'm
Don't even think about it. Don't think that the CPS workers are your friends. Generally, they're
Okay.
not. Get an attorney that's going to help you get custody of these kids. And I want to thank you for calling and thank you for listening. Update us in a couple of weeks. Let us know what's going on. All right, I think we have to move into our next break. This is The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win.